what I remember was, and I know that our players that we had were very, very, very smart, knew how to play the game. It made it easy on each player, uh, real easy on the owner, but it was we knew how we knew how to play the game, and that wasn't, you know, I might be bragging about that, but if you people see that and they'll say where the Mets what the Mets did. We did everything we knew what to do on the field, and that's what just made us so good.
J-Mar was a conversation with my friend of over over 40 years. Yes,
Yikes!
you're right. Jesse, you were the only guy who was predating me to Mets. Your first year was 79. I started in 80.
Right?
So, so could you believe, first, Jesse, 40 years next year since we shocked the baseball world, 108 regular season wins, 8 in the postseason. As my memory serves me correct, the 8 postseason wins. You were part of 5 of the 3 wins against Houston, 2 saves in the World Series. Could you believe it's 40 years?
It's amazing, Jay, and I treasure all of it. It was fun the day we started, the day I met you, and then all the players and everything. It was just great, great fun, and we got to see all of each other as young people, and
I'm not young anymore, Jesse. I can tell you.
what's that?
I'm not young anymore.
Jay, you're kicking it, buddy. You're doing great.
Oh boy, I'm kicking on. Yeah, I hope so. But hey, before we
No.
get into that stuff, a couple of things. The stats in the history of baseball, nobody's pitching more games than Jesse Orosco, 11, 1,252. At the baseball writers did in January. You're getting being honored with the Casey Stengel. You can look it up award. When you started in '79, Jesse, did you think you would pitch in more games than any other pitcher in the history of the game?
No, tell you the truth, no, I didn't even think about that at that time. But as the time went on, that's when I started kind of looking into that, and so it was a great run doing that, and I enjoyed all that.
One of the few people that pitched 4 decades. I mean, you pitched till you were 46 years old. And that's amazing. I mean, your career is, 4 decades. One of the few people to pitch it 4 decades. What made you stop?
Well, the last year I played, I was gonna be traded. I decided, you know what, I think I did what I needed to do, and I had a great time doing it. Majority of it was all in New York, so it was a great run. I didn't think about that, and then I started thinking about, Nolan Ryan and some of the guys that had long uh, ways to play. So I really took that in heart as that record started getting better and better.
Uh, Jesse, I want to go over 2 games that you were the closing guy in 2 of the historic games in Mets history. Game 6 of the game against Houston playoff game, 16-inning game, and Game 7 of the World Series. So the game against Houston, uh, the score is tied 4-4 in the 14th inning. We go ahead in the 14th inning. To the bottom of the 14th inning, unfortunately, Billy Hatcher hits a home run. The score is tied again. What were you
Right.
thinking? Oh no! I mean, after
Well,
you gave the home run to your second batter.
yeah, I mean, it was getting kind of grueling, and I think everybody on the fields were getting pretty, uh, you know, it was getting tougher and tougher as it went on. But I did everything I could, everything I could get out of my arm, and to try to get through it, and lo and behold, it worked out.
So we go to the 16th inning. We get 3 runs at the top of the 16th, and then Houston comes right back with 2 runs. So probably one of the most historic mound visits in the history of baseball. They scored 2 runs, first and second, and 2 outs. Gary, Kidd, and Keith come to the mound. I mean, I heard it at early ages. Do you remember what they told you?
Well, I try to stay on the mound because I let those guys. I know they were coming up toward me, and I kind of backed up because I just was trying to focus on myself. And then we had two really good guys, that were great baseball players. So I was not worried about that, but it's just a matter of us doing what we needed to do.
And the story go, if one of them said to you, if you throw another curve, another fastball, I'll kill you.
Well,
True, not
they didn't quite get to me there, but we kind of knew what was going on. I knew that it's a win or loss situation. So I did everything I could. I just kind of stayed behind the mound and kind of let those guys do their thing. So I'm so
and
glad
he
that it worked out.
got Kevin Bass, and kid is in your arms, and then so let me flip. Go to Game 7 of the World Series. We have the historic comeback in Game 6, 2 outs, nobody on, 2 strikes, and Gary Carter. We rally for the win. What people don't, they probably forget, we were behind 3-0 in Game 7. So I
Right.
mean, we had another rally. So go to the eighth inning of Game 7. We're ahead 6-3. McDowell is pitching, gives up 2 runs. You come in with a tying run on second base and nobody out, and just to make sure, and you retire 3 guys in a row. I think it was Dave Henderson. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, Rich Cadman, Dave Henderson, Don Baylor. I mean, the game is on the line right there.
I know it was. Uh, it was. It was tough. It was grueling. The Sox were a tremendous team, and we were a tremendous team. So that's why it really came out to be a really nice duel and a real nice thing that happened for. Um,
So I'll say it's the best of bottom of the inning. 6-5, good bottom of the inning. Dow hits a home run, 7-5. They intentionally walk Santana to get to you, and what do? Get an RBI single to make it 8-5.
I know that was probably my. Everybody gave me a tough time on that, but hey, you know what? We were just trying to do everything we could, and I got lucky. I hit about a 50 down the middle of the diamond, and so it was just fun. It was great.
So the ninth inning, 1-2-3, struck out Marty Barron for third out. Gary
Mhm.
jumped the arm. Do you remember? I think the story goes, Jesse, that at that time a policeman, Steven McDonald, was injured, and you gave him the winning ball for Game 7. Is that true?
Yes, Steven McDonald, um, very high police officer back in his time, and we lost him at a later time. But I was in my heart, when I gave that ball to him, I felt I did something I wanted to do, and it worked out really great.
No.
He had a great life, and in fact, his daughter Mary is kind of following his steps. So I've kept in contact with her.
Jesse, you were one of the few guys who, as before Davey Johnson came and he was hired in '83. What did Davey mean to that team? I mean, when he took over in '84 with 90 games right away, that was your second year as an All Star with Davey. What did Davey Johnson's leadership mean to that team?
Everything. Davey was kind of a calm, collective kind of guy, but he could put a match under your tail if you don't do what you got to do. So Davey was really good. Uh, it was easy to work with him, and a lot of fun to work with him. So we can't say anything bad about Davey. He did his job. He had a long career himself, and that was pretty amazing in his part too. Sorry we
How was
lost him.
yeah, it's the same thing. How was it throwing to Gary Carter, another guy we lost? Gary passed away 57 years old in 2012. What did Gary mean to the pitching staff, Jesse?
Oh, Gary was everything. Gary was a very, very uh, high life guy. He really enjoyed the game. He played the game hard. He played the game as hard as he could. And we saw some of the things that he went through. And Gary was a big pivotal part on our run.
Just one game I wanted to talk about, regular season game '86 when playing the Reds in Cincinnati. Gigantic fight. Kevin Mitchell gets thrown out. I think Darwin got thrown out. Keith wound up, Gary wound up playing third base. So in the middle of the game, Davey was alternating. You and Roger from pitcher to left to outfield back. You guys used to shag all the time, so it wasn't that unusual to catch fly balls, right? But Davey wasn't willing to take it. It was okay to take a chance on that, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, actually, Roger and I, we talked about it for years past, but we were so happy that, I mean, we were able to do something like that. As great a team as we had, we were comfortable with every player that went out there. I wasn't afraid of whoever came to the game. I wasn't worried about them. They knew how to do their job. So that was fun. For me to catch a ball in the outfield, that was pretty fun too.
What do you guys put the last out? Did Mike, I forget. Was it one of you guys put the last out of the game? I honestly forget. Another game I wanted to talk about in '83. You win. I think the second or third match pitcher win both ends of a doubleheader. The first game, you went 4 innings, beat the Pirates. The second inning, you go an inning to beat the Pirates. That wouldn't happen today. The relief pitcher would pitch 5 innings in a game on the same day. Probably not,
Yeah,
huh?
no, you don't see that. You don't see guys going out there for 3 or 4 innings, unless like if it's a World Series situation. Well, you got to go for it. But we had to do what we had to do. That was really the best year I had in my career, and so that was a fun. And the thing
It's
is,
very
everybody loved each other. Everybody cared for each other. That was the main thing. That's why we played so well.
You know what? I was just a kid coming out of college, and you guys made me feel like belong was part of the team, and the team will always be special for me. I had to go back to the Houston game for a second. We win the game in 16 innings, and four pitchers covered 16 innings. Bobby O went five, Aggie went three, Roger went five, you went three. In this day and age, will you ever see a 16 inning game with four pitchers covered 16 innings? I don't think so. Huh?
You never see it again. No, no. That's so funny.
It's crazy. Just is there one memory? Why do you think? Let me first question. Why do you think the '86 team is so iconic and different personalities? I mean, 40 years later, people talk about the '86 team. We're going to have a reunion sometime in late summer. Why do you think that team is so special to Met fans?
What I remember was, and I know that our players that we had were very, very, very smart. Knew how to play the game. It made it easy on each player, uh, real easy on the owner. But it was we knew how to play the game, and that was you know I may be bragging about that, but if you people see that and they'll say where the Mets what the Mets did. We did everything we knew what to do on the field, and that's what just made us so good.
Because you go back to the World Series, you say, do you remember in the bottom of the 10th inning, the scoreboard had a sign, congratulations to, I think, Bruce Hurst or Monty Barron for winning the series MVP. And
Hmm.
that didn't work out for the Met guy who put that up on the board. You know,
Yeah,
what,
I know.
what, what do you remember about that game, the game six?
Oh, I tell you what, the two amazing teams. You had some Cy Young players on their side. We had a couple guys on our side. So I thought it was a pretty like both organizations really had a great team that year, and it was just a matter of who was going to chunk it out from that point on. It worked out for us.
Jim, again, I don't want to keep much, but I mean, what a great career. 24 years, 1979, he pitched in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000. Pitched to you at 46 years old, and no pitcher in the history of baseball pitched more games than you. And plus, you had a career, ERA about 3.16. I mean, and it's true too that you didn't get as many saves maybe you should have got because, like in the middle of your stay, you kind of shared the bullpen with Roger, so you didn't really get all the saves you could have. I mean, but you and Roger were a pretty good duo together, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that's of course we all want to get the highest amount of something on what we do, but in our situation, Roger and I mean, we worked really well together. Uh, and that was I think that was a key point for that bullpen to do what we had to do. We had other guys on there too, but um, Roger was good, and like I'm not the kind of guy. I I, I would not be like, oh God, he gets all the saves, or I get all the saves.
Yeah, you
We
never
took
like that. Never like that. But
yeah
I mean,
we took it as team.
paid eight postseason wins in the playoffs. You had three of them and two saves, so you were responsible for 588. So I'm looking forward. I guess we're gonna have a nice celebration in sometime late summer. Think about the guys who are not going to be there. Of course, Davey, Gary, Bill Robinson, Bert Polshite. Uh, Trying to think who else. Buddy Harrelson's not going to be there. So it's going to be a
Yeah,
little bit of a sad occasion, celebrate the win, but kind of remember the guys who were part of the whole thing, 40 years ago, right?
yeah. That's it's we love and miss them all, but they're in our hearts forever.
Jesse, we had a great career, a lot to be proud of, and thank you for a few minutes and tell your lovely wife I said hello and thanks. I look
I
forward to
will.
seeing you in January for the baseball writers dinner.
You got it, buddy. And thank you. You have been the world for us, Jay. You
Well,
really have.
well, it's one
Every
thing
single guy loves you.
and I love you too, Jesse. Thanks, my friend.